Facebook. Hello. Good evening to you all. Hello on YouTube. Good evening to you. I hope you are all well. I am fine. My name is Vimbai Chiwuswa. I welcome you today, this evening on our session 12, but we are repeating the session 4 of our life coaching sessions with a life coach Vimbai Chiwuswa. This is because we discovered that some people missed the first sessions, so like to allow them to catch up on that, and then we can flow together. So we tried to repeat some of the sessions that we did at the beginning. Okay, so let's get them ones as well on Instagram. Hello on Instagram. I hope you are all well. Okay, so today's show, as usual, we always start with quotes or quotations to see what do other people who are clever than me have said, or what if some, they can be popular people, they can be like, not so popular people, but there are some people who have already said something. Okay, so today's topic is loving yourself. And what do we mean about loving yourself, and how do we go about loving yourself, and just basically what can we do as we are loving ourselves? Those are the topics that we'll be dealing with today. All right. Oh, yeah, that's the wrong one. Something went missing here. Yeah. Okay. Technology. Looks like this one doesn't want to get started. Sorry, give me a second, please. Let me just sort this one out. My technology is playing amiss. It was supposed to be playing, but looks like it's stopping somehow. Okay, good. Anyway, I will leave it like that. Okay, so our topic today, the first quote is like loving yourself. I've got a quotation like loving yourself starts with liking yourself, which starts with respecting yourself, which starts with thinking of yourself in positive ways. If you love yourself, you find yourself to be dear, right? Something that you value, something that is good. You don't talk bad about it. Something that is you think like is good, you like it. And something that is good, something that like you love, you speak with respect, you like cherish it. So if you are not cherishing yourself, can you then love yourself? Not really. Okay, but that's what we are talking about today. That's somebody else who said that. I don't know who, because they didn't have like a link to say who said that, but it was flow somewhere where I found it. And then loving yourself starts with you love yourself first, and then because of that, this person that you're loving you'll be spending the rest of their life with. So love yourself first, because it's that who you spend your life with. So you love yourself because you spend your whole life with you. Do you get that? Love yourself because you will spend your whole life with you. So if you're not loving yourself, and how are you going to be able to spend your life with yourself if you're not doing yourself justice and doing yourself good? It becomes tricky. Okay, so somebody called Steve Maraboli said, love yourself enough to take the actions required for your happiness, enough to cut yourself loose from the drama-filled past, enough to set a high standard for relationships, enough to feed your mind and your body in a healthy manner, enough to forgive yourself, enough to move on. Let that sink a minute, and then we'll go back into the sentence and see what we can find out of it, or what we can make out of it. Okay, once again, so loving yourself, like like when you're saying you are loving yourself, she says like the first thing you have to love yourself enough to be able to Do what you need to do to make you happy. Do all the actions you can do to make sure you are happy. Right? Love yourself in such a way that yes, we do regret some things. Yes, we might not be happy that some things happen in our lives. But the thing is, those things have already happened. We cannot change them. We cannot make them like as if they didn't happen. They happen for whatever reason, right? We are not going to be talking about those reasons today. But the thing is, whatever happened in the past, it was drama, or good or whatever, cut yourself, especially the bad things, remove them from yourself, cut them off, so that you can be able to focus on this today and this now. Because as long as you are carrying your past with you, your, like this quote says, drama filled past with you, chances are you won't be able to engage in this today and this now. All right, because you are still, either you're still mourning what's going on, you're still like angry with what went back there, you are still busy with the past. Okay, so like set standards high enough to get rid of all those people who bring drama in your life. All right, you need to have a happy life. You need to have to do, like, remember, we are saying, we are talking about you and what makes you happy. So all those who bring drama to you are people maybe that you really don't need. So set your standards so high that you make sure you hang around, or you like like you keep relations with people that are good for you. Okay, and then like whatever you put in your mouth, whatever you put in your mind, make sure it's things that are healthy for you. Unhealthy foods, unhealthy relationships, unhealthy whatever you put in your mouth will not do you good. So if you really love about yourself, if you really care of yourself, like, see that whatever you're taking in is good stuff that will be good for your body. And you know what, like I mentioned on that, things happened in the past, things for whatever reason, right? There is no, of course we can regret them, we can be angry about them, but sometimes we have to forgive ourselves. And it starts by you loving yourself enough to say, oh man, that was really bad, like those were bad decisions, or whatever happened then happened, but you have to move on, you have to forgive yourself. So start by forgiving yourself, to say, okay, it happened, I'm sorry about that. And then you see that you move on with your life. Okay, so if you are loving yourself and you've released the past and you have forgiven yourself, you give all you can to try and move on with your life. Okay, so that's like a little summary, or like my understanding of what Steve is saying. Steve Maraboli's quotation, that's what it says. All right, uh, that will be on that. Um, okay. Let's see what else do we now. We will talk about what if, like, you're loving yourself, what are the things you can be doing? Yeah. When you're loving yourself, you make sure you take time for yourself. Take time to appreciate you being you. Take time to do things that make you happy. Take time to do, to engage in some of those things that you've always wanted to do. Right, okay, I have just kind of a list here, or like a really long list of things that one can do. But like I said, like, you'll have to find your own things, maybe start new hobbies, or even try, like I said, those things that you always wanted to do, but maybe you never got the time around, or you were too busy with other things that you didn't manage to do that. So we start by, I love reading, so I'll put that on the first thing on the that try reading. It can be books, novels, it can be like scientific things, it can be any sort of literature. Find something that you like. not just like watching TVs and movies and all that, but find something that you can read. Besides, reading is good for your imagination, and it's good for your own writing skills, and good for your own, like, the more you read, the better you also become. So while least you are reading just to know what's going on, you are actually improving your own skills. Okay, excuse me. Wake up in the morning and say to yourself, today is a lovely day. Today is going to be a lovely day for me. Make declarations, make affirmations for yourself. Not to wait that somebody will come, and you expect somebody will come and make your day sunny and your day jolly. You make that for yourself, where you say you wake up in the morning, you create that happy atmosphere for yourself, to say, like, I'm waking up today, I just feel good about myself. Not that waking up as if somebody, was chasing you in your dreams, and then you are really angry with everybody, you're angry with the world. Wake up and just be like, feel good about yourself, because we have this saying that, like, you look at somebody, you think, did this person wake up at the wrong side of the bed? You're waking in, it's early in the morning, and you're walking with such a face, like, where you are scaring everybody, and people will be even scared to talk to you, like, oh, we wonder what happened to this person. So try and wear a smile on your face. It's welcoming, it opens door. I always say smiles open doors, right? I have got a couple of doors open because I smile a lot. I'm generally a happy person. Of course, doesn't mean that my life is perfect, but I choose to concentrate more on the happy things of my life. I was saying earlier on that, like, where I'm working now, if you, because it's quite a big place, and if you see me walking around, either I'm jumping around, or I'm like singing, I'm doing whatever, I'm whistling. So somebody I was working with yesterday, she actually caught up with me, and then she said, oh dear, you are so happy today. What's your secret? And I said, you know what, I am happy because I choose to be happy. If I would concentrate on the bad things, or like things that are not working well, things that I feel are not producing the results that I want, I will be crying every day, because there are so many things that are going on that I'm thinking, I can't, maybe I can't do this, I can't, I feel I'm not in the position to deal with them, right? But because I choose to be happy, or choose to be make the most of it, and choose to concentrate on things that I love and things that makes me happy, I kind of push aside those everything else that makes me miserable. But that's a choice that I've made, like, a let me say, a conscious choice. So you can choose also to make yourself happy. You choose to wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm blessing my day, I will have a good day today, I will do good things, I'll be successful in whatever I'm doing. It's you making affirmations for your day, how you want your day to be. There is that saying that say, so as you believe, so will it be. If you not, do you remember that situation? Or maybe some of you will know that there are times when you wake up in the morning and you just feel like, there is something amiss in the air, and you can't put your hands on it. You just feel like there is something that's just not quite right. If you follow that feeling, you can be sure you'll be miserable for the rest of the day. I think some of you will know that there is that feeling where you say, like, oh dear, I wish I was feeling better, I just don't know what it is. So if you start your day with like a long face, you won't only spoil your day, you will spoil other people's day as well. So please, let's try to start the day fresh. Let's try to start the day with a smile. Let's try to start a day with a hello to those that you come your way. All right, so that will be that. Okay, on saying affirmations and starting a day. If you have never traveled travel alone, go somewhere, take some, or maybe travel to nice places, and just go and take time for yourself, where you say like, this is my time, this is a moment for me, be it is just a day trip or whatever it is. Just try that, to say like, for this moment it's just me on the run, and you do that. Okay. And then uh live today like there is no tomorrow. you know Tomorrow, we say tomorrow is pregnant, and you don't know what's coming your way tomorrow. So you might as well make the best of what you have today. And because you know what's going on today, so you might as well take time and enjoy tomorrow. You will deal with tomorrow when you get tomorrow. Like there's that saying to say, you cross the bridge when you get to it. So cross the bridge of tomorrow when you get to tomorrow, but today you do what is there today. All right. And then also, if things were not going on so well, or like you are feeling very miserable, look into tomorrow and say tomorrow will be better, but today you are dealing with what is there today. All right. So there is that thing also to say like, look at tomorrow in a positive way, but you live for today. Today is in there isn't any tomorrow. Okay. I know it's kind of sounds weird, but that's how it is. That's how I do mine, and I would think it works for me. I'm not saying there's if that's the solution, but it helps. Try to keep a happy face. Fidelis. It's good to have you around. Thank you. Yeah, and then like make friends with some new people that you didn't know. Go out where there are people. It can be walking. Those who've got pets, like dogs, walk your dogs and talk to other people. If you don't have a dog, go around. Just walk. Go for a walk in the park. Go for a walk. Well, those who are near rivers and whatever, you go there. Or go to where other people walk. Go shopping and do window shopping. Then you don't necessarily have to buy anything. Go where you can meet people. If for those who go in bars, go in bars. Go out. Go on concert. Start new thing, new hobbies. Go play golf, go play tennis, go play badminton. Just go and sit in the park. All right. Go out where you can meet other people. Yeah. What else do we have? You have to create networks. Right. Networks, you can create them in churches. These days, you can use social media, but with social media, you have to be careful which groups you join. You just don't have to join any group because, like it's social media. Some groups are really dangerous, and some groups can ruin you more than they can build you. But create networks, create good connections. All right. And connections that are not good, you don't need them, throw them away. And in if you connect with people and you find out they are not good for your progress, drop them quickly, because the more you keep them, the more you just get yourself frustrated. And to you, the topic of loving yourself, that is not a good solution. Whoever is an enemy of your progress, you don't need them, drop them. Okay. Like listen more and speak less. You know if you are one who talks like me, I talk and I talk for a life. Okay, but sometimes it's good to hear. It's good to hear what others have to say. And I'm not saying, when you are listening, the trick is listen, pick what you can use, pick what is useful for you, and then use that, make use of that. Things that are not useful for you, you don't need that. So you don't need to keep those. Okay? You pick what you need and you move on and make use of what you can. All right. So like listen more to other people and then pick what is useful for you. And and then when you pick what is useful for you, some things you can put one to one into your life, but some things you will need to alter them, to tailor make them to fit into your kind of life. Okay, it doesn't mean that if you hear everything, you just pick it like that, and then it has to work that way. All right. So that will be that. Art of communication. The art of communication needs to be learned. You know, if we will all just speak as we think, no one would have friends. No one would have friends, and no one would have relations, because sometimes what we think can be disastrous, because like you think exactly in that moment as you are feeling. All right. But sometimes if you pull yourself out of a situation, you might, and think a little bit, you might tend out to come out with something better to say. So as we are saying, communication, if you don't have anything good to say, please keep quiet, because if you just speak for the sake of speaking, you might end up getting in trouble or getting other people annoyed. And if you annoy people, they will avoid you. If you avoid people, you get yourself isolated. If you associate, get yourself isolated. For those who like isolation, it might be good for them. But if you don't like isolation, you will be in trouble. All right. So we don't want you get in trouble. So let's think what we are saying. And like we said, we are loving ourselves, right? If we happen to get messed up, somebody annoys us, let's think how we are going to, make our feelings known about what has just happened. Like that, I'm saying the art of communication needs to be learned, because good communication is a key to how we communicate with other people, which also becomes a key to how we live our own lives. Because I always used to say, even today, let me say, like I still do it. If somebody messes me up, right, and sometimes I just have to react straight away there and there, depending with what has happened, I will react accordingly. And if I just open my mouth with the first thought that comes to my mouth, it can come up disastrous. And for in that case, it will ruin that relationship that I have. But sometimes if I pull back and I go and think, or even without going away, just take a moment to think, I might cool down. And whatever I say next will be well thought, and then it will come out better. Yeah. So, as much as we are loving ourselves and fighting for our rights and saying our whole truth, sometimes we have to be careful what we say, because that is also the key to these relationships, personal relationships, that we need to keep ourselves happy, that we need to keep our jobs as well, in the jobs environment or in the politics. Yeah, there are some people who have had to drop their political careers because of one lousy thing they have said in the moment of not thinking properly, right? So thinking and then talking, that is the key to this, keeping our relations and like keeping ourselves happy. Okay. We are creative beings. There are times that you think, I'm not really creative, I can't do anything. But sometimes if you just take a moment to say, you know what, let me just learn something, let me just give it a try and see what happens, let me just experiment, you might be surprised that so much s- you have so much creativity that you didn't know you have. Sometimes you also need to get, how do you call that, you need inspiration from others, right, to say, look at what others are doing, and then you go out there and do your own thing. It doesn't mean that you have to go and do exactly what so and so has done. You go out there and do your own thing. But there is, like I said, no, nothing wrong with getting inspiration from others. I've got a friend of mine who bake cakes. I'm telling you, her cakes are phenomenal. Really, like really good. I'll see if she allows me. I'll post you one of my like my son's birthday cake from his 77th birthday. You look at that cake, you think, is this cake for eating, or is this cake for, like, for decoration? And when I made my order, she said, you know what? Look around, see if there's any cake that you would want. Get ideas. Bring me something to work with, so that at least I know what you wish. I just found, yeah, a simple cake, and what she made of it, that was like really good. So I'm saying, take that as an example to say, I gave her something to work with, and from that, she created a completely different thing altogether. So you look in your own world to say, like, what is it that you like, right? Maybe look around and see what are other people doing, and then go back into yourself and look at what does your own create, what can you make out of that, and then you create your own something. Okay, so let's learn, let's try new hobbies, let's try new things, play around with paint, play around with material, play around with wood, and see what you can make. You'll be surprised what you come up with. I'll be waiting to hear from you. When you're sharing what you have tried out. Nourish yourself healthy. That's another one to say, you eat all sorts of things, and we wonder why, we are feeling so tired, why we are feeling so, like as if we have got A in the tummy, because we're eating wrong things, right? I'm saying, like, let's check our portions. Let's see that we eat healthy food, because what we put in will also give us, the results. All right, so, like, let's take care of our food. Let's play around with foodstuffs, right? If you didn't have, let's experiment with different kitchens, right? These days, you're, like I was saying, these days you don't need to you can buy a book, but you can just go online and say, I'm looking for Italian recipes for cooking pizza. You will find them. I'm looking for the Spanish kitchen in tapas. You will have all sorts, and they detailed how to do them. Yeah, if you want to eat Nigerians magwinya, you will find them. So for whatever kitchen you can think of, there is a recipe online. So get those recipes and try something new and play around food. Okay, so, like, that's just a little bit. Like, okay, prove your improve your skill set, to say, look at what can you do, learn, like I said, learn new things, learn new skills to boost up your what you have, because as you are loving yourself, you are promoting yourself, you like your CPD, like your continued personal professional development. You are learning, like you're trying new skills. And if you look, like, today I'm sitting here, I'm a life coach, or I have this life coach session for myself. And if you know how I go to do this course, I was doing something else, like I was doing human resources course, and I decided, actually they offered it to me and said, oh, while you are doing this, it might be good to look at this as well. Oh, I said, like, okay, just add it on. Right. Yeah, yeah. Just edit on. So, and now I have a certificate in life coaching, Vimbai Chiwuswa, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is really good stuff. Now I'm using that certificate. I'm a life coach. And while I'm doing that, I'm like, oh, so what else can I do with a life coach? And then I saw there is cognitive what? P- cognitive see cognitive behavior therapy. And guess what, I am on that now, because I've started this wagon, and I'm improving myself, and I keep on seeing you. I am learning new things. What are you doing about your life? What new things are you learning? I'm learning new skills. What are you learning? I always say I don't paint, but guess what? I went to a sewing course recently, like short course, one night in evening for 6 appointments. I learned how to paint material. Someday I will, maybe someday you will see me telling you, oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, may you like I present to you my fashion catwalk thing. I'm now painting materials for myself and sewing them. Maybe not. But the bottom line is I went and I learned that. So what are you doing? Right? And that has got nothing to do with coaching, but because I learn new things, I went and I learned that. Okay, so what are you doing with yourself? So take time, get new hobbies, learn new things, learn new skills, and skills you will always use them. Okay, practice meditation. Right. Like if you are a Christian like me, do it the Christian way. If you're not a Christian, you can do it like, like there are so many methods of mediating. It's basically spending time with you and yourself. Yeah. You can sit in a room where nobody would disturb you, where just you and your thoughts, and think where you are going, think about your life, like just try to find the inner peace and um get new energy, right? And refocus on your life, go back on the drawing board and sort out your life, think about what you're doing with your life. Okay, take time, just spend you and yourself without anybody knocking on your door, without a phone buzzing, where you completely switch off. If at all, then you can have maybe like really calm music in the background and then do it that way. Okay. And then what else can I talk? Yes, sleeping and resting. Enough sleeping, enough resting. You really need that. Our bodies were not done so that we work 27 hours in one day. That is called 24 hours. Our bodies are meant to rest. So take time and rest, eat properly, and then take time to rest. You need to take, and nobody will come and say, go and rest. You need to prioritize yourself to know that sometimes you really need that rest and it is important. Okay, so take time to rest, right? Even if it's just like you doing nothing, sit down and rest. And it means you having enough sleep as well. I was saying in Shona and Devele that, here in Europe, sometimes because we are forever chasing the pounds and the pounds and the euros or the dollars, you end up working 3 4 jobs. You are rushing from one job, you just come, if you sometimes don't even have time to come home and change, you're just crossing over to the next one, and from there you cross over to the next one. So before you know it, you have spent 3 days out of home and 3 days in a row, going on and on and on. But the problem is when we collapse, then we really collapse, right? So we shouldn't do that. We should like take time to rest, prioritize ourselves, because we are loving ourselves. Money is good, but health is the key. If you are not healthy, you won't enjoy that money. Okay. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying money is bad. Money is really good, but you need to be healthy to be able to enjoy that money and alive. Okay, there are so many people who are just dropping dead. Yeah, and nobody knows who they are or what to do with them because they are like dying of fatigue. Yeah, and fatigue kills. That's a real serious thing there. Okay, and then like move your body, like do some exercises. With exercise doesn't mean always jogging or like doing, but it just mean like wherever you are, move your body, do some stretching, do some you can do all sorts of different things. Like for some people, you just need to put music and dance to it, like really, where you're swinging your hands, where you're like stretching, where you're jumping on one spot, that kind of thing. And some we have to go to the gym and lift weights, some will have to run around the park, some will play football, some will play. whatever you do, do things that have got movement in you, in them, that will allow you move your body, and it's good for you. And because as you are moving your body, like you are boosting your blood reserve, your blood is circulating, and you are moving your body, your muscles are moving, you refresh yourself, your body refresh itself. If better is take time out in the fresh air, do whatever you are doing outdoors, that will help you keep fit. All right. And then yeah, maybe you to just cut this last one. What was that one? Be open minded. you know don't walk around with blinkers like a horse that is just made to look straight forward where you're going. Look around you, see what's going on. Look outside the rim of your plate. Look beyond and see what's going on, and see what can you pick of what's going on and use it to your own good, right? As you are loving yourself. So the list can go, I can go on and on and on and on what is good about you loving yourself. Okay, and what you can do as you are loving yourself. Okay, so now we'll continue with our session to say why is it very important, and what, like, no, no, and how you can go about, like, as in, like, also a continuation of it will touch also a bit of what I've just said, but now going a bit deeper into that. Okay. Mm, sorry about that. I'm chewing some ginger. Talking of eating fresh and drinking fresh, I'm drinking ginger tea with lemon, fresh lemon and fresh ginger. Beautiful. All right, good. So today, now we will continue our topic to say, you know what? Is it like, remember, when I'm doing these sessions, I always say, these sessions, I am talking to you who is listening, right? And these sessions are meant to help you figure out what you want to do with your life in such a positive way. We are looking at helping you change your life in a positive way, making you reach your potential, making you live that life that you want to live. Yeah, because like I always say, it's not, there is no one else who can come and change your life for you. It's you who can only change your life for yourself. All right. So as you are changing your life for yourself, um you are like, yeah, you can only you can only be the person who decides how your life goes. Yeah, if you leave that to other people to do it for you, you have then no control of how it goes, because you have given away the keys. If you give, like, if you give somebody the keys to your house, they can decide to come in whenever they want, and you can't stop them because you've given them the keys. But if you keep your keys, you can decide who comes in and when they come in. You see what I mean? So if you keep your keys, you can decide who comes in and when. So keep the keys to your life. And keeping the keys to your life, it means you deciding what makes you happy. And one of the key ones is you loving yourself. All right. So to do that, we start about figuring out what is important for us, for me, for you. Right. Like I said, if you don't know what you want, somebody will come and say, let's do this. You will say, okay. You will do what that other person has said. And the next one will come and say, let's do this. You will say, okay. You will do again that. But the thing is, in this whole time, you are following others. You are not thinking for yourself what is important for you. So the first thing is, in this case, stop, sit down and think, what is it that you want for your own life? What is it that you want for yourself? Hello, Vinny. Yeah. It's good to have you around. So it's you deciding what you want to do for yourself and what it is that is important. That's what you need to figure out, because if you don't, you'll be just blowing left and right, following the wind. You know, the wind can go in any direction at any time. So if you don't know what you want, you will be like going left, right, and center. Where the wind is blowing, you go that direction. Yeah. So we need you to know what is it that is important for you. Okay, knowing, figuring out what is it that you want, right? And then why, and then you can put like also like put like a list of priorities. They are things that are important for you, that you know you cannot compromise on that, because if you do compromise, you will either hate that person that made you compromise, you be angry with that situation that made you compromise that. Okay, that's one thing to say. You have to be to know what are those things that are so important for you, and how much, what priority is it. And then there are some things that you say like, okay, if I can't do them like now, I can push them for later. Okay, push them for later. And then there are some things that are so important for you, that, or not so important for you, that you say like, if I achieve them, okay. If not, okay, whatever. Yeah, those ones you can like, yeah, like put them on the, if they work, okay, if they don't, it's okay. So they are not really important, right? But then on those that are really important for you, maybe if you can't do them like now, put a time limit to say by such a time I should have managed them. By some of them you might need to be really patient, but don't put them, don't remove them from your list, because they are important for you. If you don't fulfill those, believe me, you will always be frustrated. You will always have like, if only I had done this, maybe this would be this. If only I had, maybe. And that will accompany you for the rest of your life. And believe me, it will not take you anywhere to say, if only I had, right? It will be something that you always keep in your mind. So follow what you want in your life, and see that you fulfill those dreams. Okay, if the next point will be, if you stop apologizing for something that is your whole truth. Yeah, if you say something that is your truth, like let's say something happens and then you react accordingly, and you know what you have said, or what you have, like, yeah, how you have said the thing, whatever you have said is correct and is true. You don't really have to apologize for that. But the thing is, the trick in the whole thing is, whatever you are saying, say it in such a way that you are not forced to apologize. Why I am saying that? There are some situations that maybe somebody does something and you get annoyed, and you go poof, you say whatever you are saying, and whatever you are saying is actually correct, right? And it's your right to be like, to react that way. But you find yourself coming back to that person who actually annoyed you, to say, I'm really sorry I reacted that way. You know what I mean? So the trick about it brings us back to that communication point that we spoke about. That if something has annoyed you, if something needs you to say your whole truth, think exactly on how you are going to react. Think exactly of what you want to say, and then say it in such a way that you won't be forced to apologize. Right? You know what I mean? I've got a friend of mine who got somebody stole her money in her house, right? Because it went so bad, and this friend had been actually stealing from them for a long time, right? And they ended up putting cameras in the house to try and catch the thief stealing. And they did catch the thief stealing. And the person who was stealing from it was quite a very close friend. But now what happens is, because this one was, even with caught on camera, was still denying that she had anything to do with her. they ended up making this a police case. But at the end of the day, angry as she was that, like this friend of hers was stealing from them, she found, or she kind of felt in a way that she was compelled to go back to that friend and say, I'm so sorry that I've taken you to court. You know why? Because in her own way, she felt she was doing this, she had done this friend not justice by reporting her. At the end of the day, if you look at it, she could have just said, like, you know what, you are my friend. I've told you, because she did tell her what she thought at that time. She told her what she thought and still went ahead and made this a police case. So when I was talking to her, like, oh, you know what, I actually feel now, I feel sorry for her. And I feel like now I might need to go and apologize. Remember, she is the victim, right? But because, like I said, saying whatever you say, I can't say whether she reacted unwisely or what. But the bottom line is, let's think how we react in particular situations so that we don't find ourselves in such a situation that we think we have to apologize, even though we are the ones who are saying our whole truth. If we say it wisely, what we are saying, constructively, then there is no reason why we should apologize. And then the fact remains as a fact, okay, with us not having to apologize for anything. That's the trick about this. Okay. So let's talk about the next point. Our next point will be, there is making a difference between showing confidence in doing something and showing arrogance. Yeah. If we know something, there are times when we really know that, with this one, talk about something else. In this thing, I am good. And I know I am really good. I don't even need anybody to come and tell me I know I'm a star in this. All right. We can decide, because I know I'm a star in this, I can go about bragging about it and showing them that, like, you want to know this, come and listen to the boss. Right. That's the wrong way of doing things. Though you can also do the same, that I want to show you people that I know what I'm talking about. You say what you say what you are saying confidently, but you still have to maintain that humbleness, that humility. It's not about you bragging. You brag, people will not listen, and people will not take what you're saying because you are bragging, right? And like, you're showing like you are arrogant. People don't like people who are arrogant, even though what you're saying. If people put you for arrogancy, you might be surprised that you might find people ignoring you, even though they really need what you are saying, but because they don't like your attitude, and then they will ignore you. All right. So that people don't ignore you, right? See that whatever you are sharing with them, you are sharing it with humility, even though you know what you know is good, but still try and be humble about it. Okay. Being humble doesn't mean you lack confidence. It just knows you are putting whatever across, the message across, in such a way that will make people want to listen and get more of you. Okay. Same, like, my next point, it tallies actually with what I've just said, that, as you know what you have been going through, as you have learned something, you can share it with other people, in such a way that when you are telling what you know, if you put it in a in a humble way, people will listen. And as you are sharing your story, you will inspire others. As you are sharing your story, you are encouraging others. When I started with this whole thing, I was saying, like, follow your dreams. That's my topic that I'm pulling through. I always give example that, like, if I use example with myself, like today I'm sitting here as a life coach, saying, I'm life coach Vimbai Chiwuswa. I'm talking episode 12. Okay. My story is, my brother started the dream of starting a radio station. I joined him because I saw that what he was saying was making sense. Because I joined my brother in this radio station thing, now I have my own station. not my own station, my own um life coaching thing. Remember, I had these certificates long before this radio station opened, but I had them sitting in a drawer there. But because I listened to what he started and I followed this. And now here I am. I'm talking to you guys and I'm having ticks of views and I'm helping viewers and I'm enjoying it. Right. But because he encouraged me and I listened, I'm sharing my story with you. That let this story encourage somebody. That you know what, you can follow your dreams. You might start something and stop. And as long as you want it with your heart, you follow it through. Yeah, like now I am living my dream that started 2014. That's when I had the certificates for this course. 2014. I'm here today. Right. And if you look at this whole live session thing on radio, it only started recently. Right. But because we have been pulling it through, we are already talking episode 12. So for me, this is a dream come true that I'm following through. So what is your dream? Follow your dream, share your story, and like encourage somebody. And if you have knowledge that you can share with others, do share and help others. Right. And, or if you don't want to share the way you have done it, do the pointers, point them in the right direction, and then they will find the rest of the journey for themselves. Okay. So that will be that. Or like, while you are doing the sharing of your story, still be humble about it. Oh yes, do keep your business secrets. Yeah. And your win, you like, like that winning point that you say, I can't give away that. Yes, it's your right to keep that. But anything else that you can share that can help somebody, please be a multiplicator and a mentor of somebody. Yeah. Okay, so the next point will be like, we have to reflect on what is happening around us and about and what is happening in our life. In this, I mean that you be critical to yourself. Look at what has happened, and while you look at what has happened, what you have done, what has gone good, what has gone bad, and what could you have done better, good or bad, or it doesn't matter how it looks. Still sit down and check what are the lessons learned. Yeah, because if you don't do that, you are bound to make the same mistake. And if you make the same mistake, you never know what it means. It might mean a ruin for you, and it might mean like some pain or some headache. And if you can avoid that because you sat down and looked back, how did things go? Then you might avoid some things. And the other thing is, like talking of that, by reflecting at what is going on, you know, if you look at yourself and you lie to yourself, you're not doing yourself good. Yeah. That's also like self-reflection in this case. It means you honestly sitting down and looking what happened. Why did it happen like that? What could I have done better? What should I do better next time? What should I do to avoid situations like this happening again? If they do happen again, what can I do to like how to say that to not balance like avoid the situation becoming like really bad, so like I'm prepared to handle the situation in a like constructive way. What should I have in place, like as in just in case, like what is your just in case in plan, so that in case things don't work the way if they should, or the way you think the way you want them to do, um or go according to plan. What do you have? And then you can also consider w- if what role did you play yourself? Yeah, because if you are not honest with yourself, you will be quick to make judgments, you will be quick to make blame, you will be quick to apportion blame. And by apportioning blame, you are not doing yourself good, you're just creating enemies. The people the people you will blame will not be happy with you. And because they are not happy with you, you are actually destroying relations that may be really good relations that you had created over years, right? So before you just open your mouth and start saying things and blaming people, quick reflection of what has just happened, or what happened, how things happened, and then that will help you like a really big time to get some things done and to get some things sorted out and getting some truth. Like I said, it's about you and your life. It's about you being honest with yourself. It's about you looking directly into what's going on and getting out with something like really useful for yourself. All right. And then look, while you are reflecting, if you have done something good, say, like, credit that to yourself. If it means you getting yourself a treat to say, hey, you have done very well, go ahead and treat yourself for that job well done. Because if you don't do that, there are some people who are really good and grabbing other people's how do you call that are good at grabbing other people's success as theirs. So if you are not strong and you didn't claim it for yourself to say, I know I did this, somebody will come and snatch that glory away from you, and you will remain so miserable. So wherever you have done something well, credit to yourself. Don't wait for others to come and say you've done well. Maybe they don't come and say it, and then you'll be even more miserable. And if you've already told yourself, whether they say it or they don't, they say it, it's even better. It feels good that you have been acknowledged. If they don't say it, but you've already told yourself, and nobody can take that away from you. So my suggestion is, take credit where you have done well for yourself before you wait for others to come and acknowledge that you have done well. Okay, so that will be that. uh let's see, what else do we have. Yeah, I say, be a person that when you show up, people will be happy to have you. Yeah, there are some relatives or some friends, if those ones, if they say they are coming, or you start putting things away, locking things away, or if there's somebody just passes next to you, you grab your child closer to you, or you grab your bag closer to you, because they can't leave anything. You don't want to be a person like that. Create a good brand for yourself, that when you are passing by when you are saying, when people know you are coming, everybody will be excited to have you around. So be a good brand, you yourself. So love yourself in such a way that you make sure you are a person that people want to have among them, not a person people want to avoid. Yeah, love yourself in such a way that you are like a brand on your own, right? If if like these days, it's easy for us to be carrying handbags made from so and so. We put on clothes, put on big names here, so and so. We are promoting other people. If you are getting paid for putting on those label clothes, okay, and they do cost a fortune, right? So instead of you promoting other people's businesses, why don't you promote yourself? Start your own thing. Yeah, even if you start in your kitchen, do that, and then carry it out. If you start in your bedroom, do that and carry it out, right? And then you'll be a brand for yourself. All right, so that means be a good person wherever you go. Love yourself in such a way that you carry yourself in a positive light, that all those who are around you, they will shine because you are shining, right? So love yourself in such a way that you shine. Okay, yeah, now I'm going to talk about one topic that I know some people might not be happy with me for saying it, but I'm going to talk about it because that's me and that's how I feel. And yes, and I think as a life coach, even some things that are difficult, we need to talk about them. So I'm going to talk about people who are in violent relationships. Yes, that's what I'm going to talk about. I say, as a life coach, it's easier for me to be talking about it because I'm outside that. Uh, I know people can be stuck for whatever reasons. People will stay in most weird situations where you think, why don't you get out? Right. Sometimes people don't have the energy to get out by themselves. But the problem is, it's you yourself who has to make the move. Because if other people decide for you, you won't last, you will go back again in that relationship. I'll give you an example to say, like you have only one life, and this life is so delicate that it can switch off just like that. So if you I know, like, if it's easy for me to talk to whoever is in that situation. I know some people will need professional help to be able to get out of those situations that you are in. I know that. If you are in such a situation and you need professional help, please go and get that help and get out way of that situation where you are in. It's not gonna change tomorrow because you wake up today and you like, whoops, everything has changed. There is a circle that you are in. It can have been going on for so many years, and now you are saying, I'm used to it, that's how things are. Or you are saying, I'm here because I'm staying here for my children. Believe me, you're not doing your children good, right? If you can be a man who is being beaten by your woman, or you can be a woman who is being beaten by your man, or you can be married people, you can be boyfriend or girlfriend. My advice to you is pack and go. Okay? I know it sounds weird. Say I'm saying like pack and go. The thing is, it's not gonna change. That's one thing for sure. You are in a circle. You already know that. Like, either you made me do this. That's why I'm doing this to you. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. And then tomorrow you go through the same thing again. And then the day after tomorrow, and it's you who have to continuously apologize for what is happening to you. Yet you are the one who is the victim. Okay, if you are here in Europe, there are so many homes that you can go, so many institutions that are there to deal with such things. If things come to the worst, call the police and they'll come and solve the problem for you. All right. But the thing is, you call the police and then you don't go back again tomorrow and say, like, I want to come back home. Okay. Once you get out of that place, then really get out. Because if you come back again, you are already in the circle continues. Okay. The other thing is, for those who have children, don't say you are living in such a horrible situation because of your children. One thing that you should know is your children are seeing your tears. You might try and hide it, but your children know. And because your children are seeing you suffering, your children are tormented. Yeah. Because your children are tormented, you can by that you are killing your children. That's how I will put it. You can either create some children who will be strong enough to say, no, I don't want to have such a relationship like I saw of my parents, and they'll break away and live like a better life, or try and avoid such situations. If you are unlucky, if your children are unlucky, they will end up being children who run away from home and end up continuing the circle of what they saw in your own house, right? Or if those children are unlucky, they might end up in these social whatever situations where nobody's there to take care of them, right? And then because nobody really has time to take care of them, they end up going from one home to another where you are opening doors for other people to abuse your children. And some abused children become something else as they grow. Yeah, I'm not saying all people who have been abused as children turned out to be, like bad people. No child should be abused, and you also be one who is there to protect your children. Protect your children, or protect your children around you if you see there is such violence. Because I can say what I'm saying. I know it sounds weird for some people, but the thing is, I've been working in different health settings, so I've seen quite a bit in my job as a health practitioner. Okay, there are extreme examples, and then so lala. In like at the moment, I'm dealing with people who've got mental issues, like some of them, and they've got like things that has happened in the past. But if you look at some of them, I'm not saying everybody, but some of them, if you look back in their history, they come from families where either they themselves were abused in all sorts of unthinkable things that happened to them, and they've grown adults, then they repeated the same thing, right? And then like what happened to them, they've reproduced that. And if you look at some of them, or some of the people, because they have suffered that, seeing these traumatic things going on, they are not capable of seeing what is good or what is wrong. They just do whatever. You and me will be shocked to know, like, no, that is, how can somebody think of something like that and continue going and doing it? So you are not doing your children good, letting them witness what is going through in your life. Okay, not everybody is strong enough to be able to box themselves out. So you be strong. If not for yourself, if you say your life is not valuable enough, let it be valuable for your children and bring your children in safety. Because abuse is not only physical, it can be mental. And the physical one, it happens on the flesh. You can see that, you can sort it out. But the mental one is worst. You create something that you can never tame again. So make sure you protect your own children, okay, or children around you, if you are like in a violent relationship or violent area or violent circumstance. I know, there are so many different types of those. We don't want to name them, but you know what I'm talking about. If you are in such a situation, please go and get the help that you need to get out of there. If that person who is tormenting you happens to be the one who's paying the bills, all the same, still make proper arrangements and get out. Get out with your life. You just have one life, and if that life is messed up, you are messed up. Okay, I'll give you another example that I gave earlier on, to say, I once cared for somebody, like a lady, right, in the 50s. And it happens that, talking of violent relationships, her husband happened to push her down the stairs. And you know what? When she got pushed down the stairs, she was pregnant, heavily pregnant. She lost the baby. And because she hit her head down the heater when she fell down the stairs, she had a brain injury. And with that brain injury, it means for her, the only communication she could do when you went to see her, when you were taking care of her, she was like, that's the only thing she can move. And you know what? She happens to be in a 50s. And when I met her, or when I took care of her, it was like, I think 12 years, 13 years since it happened. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That's what I'm saying. You have one life. You cannot determine what will happen tomorrow, or what mood that person will be in who is tormenting you. So take your life and get out as fast as your legs can carry you. Of course, do make proper arrangements if you have time to do that. If there is no time to make proper arrangements, jump out of the wagon and see that, like, you take care of it. You value your life. That's one thing that I can say. So, like, value your life in such a way that you only have this one life. And this one life is so delicate that it can just go like off, just like somebody who's switching off the candle. You switch off the candle, just go, and if you blow it off, it's gone. You don't think it will rekindle itself. And if this life goes blown out, it's gone. Yeah. Love yourself in such a way that you know that you are delicate. Your life is delicate. Your life is important. It's important to you. Like I said, if it's not important for you, it's important for your children if you have children. If you don't have children, your life is important to people who care and love you. They are just waiting for you to make a move. Okay, you will see, the moment you make a move to say, signal, guys, I'm in trouble here, they'll be there to help you. If they are not there to help you, the worst thing you can do, like if they where you are, they are not these institutions that are helping people in trouble, like in who are facing domestic violence, then go to the churches around you. Normally churches will help you out. They won't throw anybody in trouble. Like they are a sanctuary place, so if there's nowhere else to go to, then run to the church. One of the churches in your neighborhood will help you. All right, so that will be that on that point. It was really dear to my heart, so I just had to say it. Okay, and if you are the one who is beating others, be it you are a woman or your man, you know what, then it means you are not valuing them, because you don't destroy something that you love. You don't destroy something that you cherish and care about. So if you are the one who is using somebody's child as a punching bag, just know that, you know what, whatever you are doing is very wrong. Imagine if it was you and somebody doing that to you, how would you feel? So my advice for you is go to people who are professionals, who will help you manage your anger. All right, sometimes some people beat others because they can't, it's not like managing their anger, but they don't know how to let out their frustration. Or maybe some of them, like their own life is not in order, but because they can't put their lives in order, they tend up to beat those that they think are frustrating them, or those who they think they are like reflecting to them what they should be, or what they should do better. Maybe instead of using your energy beating somebody up, why don't you try and focus on yourself and help yourself? All right, change your lifestyle and try and put your life in order. Or maybe just leave this person if he or she is not the one for you, or she's not good enough for you, than like continue making somebody else miserable. And the fact that you are beating them up, it means you are not happy with your own life. If you were, you'll be doing things that makes you happy, and that doesn't make you happy. So that's me concluding to say, like, you know what, get your life in order and stop harassing others. Okay, yeah, that will be that on that. Let me see, what else do I have on my points? Yes, another important point is to this point is specifically for women. Specifically for women. I know mothers, aunties, sisters, wives, you have had to give up some of your dreams, or some of your dreams, or some of your, like, like things that were important to you or are still important to you. My advice is, talk to your partners and see if you can somehow work to revive them, if they can support you in reviving them, right? If you have a partner who is forever telling you you are not good enough, you will not amount to anything, I will pick a big question mark to say, how dear does that person love you? Because if you are loving somebody or loving something, you won't continuously make it feel useless. Because people who continuously tell others they can't do this, they can't do that, they only achieve in making them feel useless and feel not able to do anything, right? So if you love somebody, you will be the one to help them. You'll be the one to help them, like, achieve their dreams. So I would say, talk things into your home, that if you still have dreams that are not achieved, if you can go your way and still work on your dreams, if you can pull that through, go ahead and pull that through. Because if you are happy, you will see you will have more energy for your relationship. You will have more energy for everybody around you, because you yourself will be glowing, you will be fulfilled. you know I always say, like, children will grow and they'll go. Your husband or your wife will continue doing their careers, and you will just be sitting there and thinking, oh, but I always wanted to do this. You are sitting there on an unfulfilled dream. It's not doing you good. Talk your dreams through and see if you can get the support that you need to go ahead and fulfill that dream that of yours. And if you don't get the support that you need and that dream is still important for you, I'll say put your resources together and go ahead and try and see if you can reach that dream. Yeah, because somebody who loves somebody will support them to make sure they are happy. All right, like I'm saying, you still have to work within the boundaries, like bound, or like within your home setting, and see if you can get that support, because you will need that support, right? And you will need a good network to help you through. But if you really don't get that help and that dream is still important for you, go ahead and work towards that dream. You never know where life takes you. Sometimes, like, some people are scared for their ones. They think they are protecting them and say, like, don't do this, because if you do, you will fall, right? But if they don't crawl, they will never walk, right? So if like, if they crawl and they fall, be there to pick them up, be there to support them, instead of just telling them, you can't, you can't, you can't. The more you say you can't, you can't, the more they still think, maybe if I had done this, I would be somewhere now. And year by year, they'll be thinking, oh, you are the ones who are stopping them. So instead of stopping them, support them and see where they go. That was the message for all those who are not happy with their partners doing things for themselves. But like I said, my message is always for you, the listener, you who is being stopped on doing something that you like, you who's living the life that you think is not the life that you want. We are talking love yourself and see that what are you doing, showing that you are loving yourself to for yourself. Remember, this is about you. This is about you loving yourself. This is about you choosing what you want to do. All right. This is about you doing something that is important for you. Okay. So that will be that. Yeah. So that was a lot. Let me see if I've gone through all my points. Yes, one last one. We are all so strong, much stronger than we think. Right? We said we are loving ourselves today. We are doing everything in our power to keep us happy. When we wake up in the morning, we will put on a lovely smile. We will affirm our day to say, like, the day will be lovely. And we will go about our business in a happy mood, looking positively in the future. All right. Because if we live a pessimistic life, we will always be miserable. So, because, yes, bad things happen, things that annoy us happen, things that makes us cry happen. Yes, we can cry. But the thing is, what do we do when we finish crying? Yeah, we still have to look in the future and look positively in the future to say we are loving ourselves, we are taking care of ourselves, putting on nice clothes, washed clothes, smelling good, and we are following our dreams. We are making things that makes us happy, and connections that we don't need, that are toxic to us, we are amputating them. People who are making us miserable and people who are making us cry and feel like there is no reason to live, we are also amputating them out of our lives. you know we are caring for ourselves, we are following our dreams, like, and we are working with our families. I'm not saying go about destroying your families. I'm saying start first by working within your family to see how best you can combine your family and your dreams. But if you really don't get that support and that thing is important for you, I said, like, you go ahead. But at the end of the day, it's not my dream, it's your dream, it's your life, it's you who is loving yourself. And like we said, something that you love, you will not destroy it. okay, you take care of it. So make sure you take for that one precious life that you've got, and remember to keep the lovely smile. Like, smiles open doors. Smiles go a long way. Even if you find a grumpy person and you are smiling, some of them might end up smiling too. Yeah. So a smile can make somebody's day. Okay. Make your day and somebody else's day. Right. So, like, yeah, that will be my top. That was my topic for today, to say, please love yourself. By loving yourself, that's where you start, and then you can also have the energy and the room to love others. Okay. Yeah. Whew, that was a long one. All right. mm, yeah, so next week I'll just make a quick announcement for next week. Next week we will be doing the topic, diaspora live. Yeah, to diaspora live we'll be talking, we'll be talking the myths and the facts and just life in diaspora in general. If there is anything that you ever wanted to know about diaspora life, you let's meet tomorrow. We've got a date. And if there is also something that you want to share about life in diaspora, diaspora, it means just anywhere far away from your home country. That's diaspora. So that will be our topic for next week, to say, let's talk diaspora, let's talk life outside home, far away from home. Yeah, that will be for next week, my announcement for next week. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And yes, may you please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got a YouTube channel called Life Coach Vimbai Chiwuswa. I'll put it here on the link below, to say please subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe for me. And do leave me your feedbacks. Do leave me questions if you've got questions, additions, subtractions. Just let me know how you found these videos. And if it has been useful for you, do send me your testimonies. Just share with me something, how it has, like, maybe changed your life or maybe helped you. All right, I'll be glad to hear that. That's also how I grow. That's also, I'm learning new things as well as I'm going. Like I said, remember, please, those who need professional help, go and get professional help. If you need somebody to work with you, please find somebody to work with you. All right. But you have to help yourself for others to be able to help yourself. You have to be able to notice what you need, so that others can be able to help you. You have to make the first step, so that others will be in a position to, like, to help you out. Okay. So this was my session for today. Stay blessed, and I'll be happy to have you. See you next week again. God bless. So I'm going to be closing the different channels one by one. Okay. I will start with the YouTube one. Say, people on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. And then we'll be talking another show. And it was really lovely to have you around. Thank you. Stay blessed.